What's up, guys? It is John iRacing here with my prediction video for today's race. Now, let's quickly start about saying I don't know if we're going to get this race in even today. It's about 70-75% chance of thunderstorms starting around 2 p.m. It's around 30%, but then by the time the race starts, about 5 p.m. Eastern, I think 4 p.m. there, it will be roughly around 70% chance. So it doesn't look promising in this race in tonight because it's going to from there go on all the way until almost midnight for the thunderstorms. So but we'll go as if it is today. If it is today, it is going to be a hot and slick day, almost 95 to 100 degrees. Cars are going to feel like an oven in there from 120 to 130 degrees. So hydrating for them is a key. But let's talk about the race itself. This track is concrete. Now, concrete is not 100% affected by temperature, but it's not like a zero either. Concrete can get hot. If anyone has gone on a hot summer day and if the sun is baked on concrete long enough, it does get hot. It might be white, but it might reflect the heat, but it's not like that kind of reflection. It can absorb. So, and especially once you start running rubber on top of it. So it will get hot and slick, and the track will widen out. Now, is that a good thing? Yes, it is good. I want the track to widen out. But the problem is eventually, one groove becomes a preferred groove, right? Because you want to hit that banking just right. You want to be in that banking where you're going to have the most grip all the time. So eventually the top, I feel like, will become the preferred groove, and it's going to be very, very hard to pass. Not impossible, just very hard. And that's going to take some time we'll see throughout the runs where that happens, right? And another thing is, this is like a self-cleaning track. And I'm not talking about when they crash. I'm talking about when, under caution, you pick all the rubber off the track again on those hot tires. You have to put that rubber back down in the spots that they're running in. So once that happens, it takes about, I would say, 5, 6, maybe 7 laps or so. It starts putting that rubber back down. Then that groove starts widening out again. And then they're running pretty much all around the track for the most part. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for this race to see a lot of passing. But I don't think it's impossible. So let's talk about drivers who I think are going to be good today. Now, Denny Hamlin is on a pole, and Joe Logano is second. So those guys have been kind of back and forth this year, right? They win, they suck, they win again. It's really wishy-washy for them. And because of that, I can't really predict, in a sense, who's going to win. And I'm not going to have these prediction videos talk about who I think is going to win, but I think the guys who I think are consistently up front mostly every week is Ross Chastain, Larson. I would even put in there occasionally William Byron, who's more consistently up there. Tyler Reddick is consistently more up there. And I think today, because of it being a little harder to pass, I think you're going to see Hamlin. You're going to see Logano stay up there. Now, pit strategy might change that and they get shuffled back and whatever, but usually the guys who qualify up front usually stay up front unless they have a major problem with their cars. So the guys who basically, I would say the top 6 or 7 in that area will mostly stay in that area. They'll move around, obviously, position-wise a little bit. Now, let's say if this race is postponed tomorrow. Well, if it is postponed to Monday, it's going to be, compared to what it was today, a lot cooler. It's going to be about mid-80s compared to almost 100 degrees. And I think the humidity is going to be a lot down because of that cold front coming through. So if that front comes through, cools it down, humidity is lower, this track will change. I won't say dramatically, but it will change enough. I think you will see the groove still widen out, but it ain't going to be as big as what it would be today. The hotter it is, the more wide you get. The cooler it is, the more narrow that groove becomes, because now that grip level in that groove area can stay there longer versus trying to find that fresh concrete and move up and try and get better grip. So it is a lot different. Now, will the racing change too much? No, I think it's still going to be hard to pass regardless. It's still going to be a sunny day. I think that it's just a little bit less cooler, maybe just a little more grip in certain areas. Maybe that might make the racing a little bit better. It might help it where the bottom maybe a little more preferred grip than the top, where we can see the side by side action. This track though, when it sits and bakes in the sun, I was saw in qualifying, it gets so slick that it is slippery for a while before you can actually burn some rubber in and get the rubber to stick enough to where it's not as loose, but it's still loose. A lot looser than I expected. I thought you'd see a lot more tighter cars out there. We saw the Truck Series race. They were in at night, and you saw a lot of loose cars out there. Even in Xfinity, there were a lot more looser cars out there. Now, the Cup cars are built after a lot different than those two vehicles, where the downforce is basically designed for the underneath and versus on top. So you want to get that diffuser to have maximum downforce underneath. If you lose that and you get loose, hell, Kyle Busch, probably one of the talented driver in Cup Series, he lost it in qualifying. He got loose. So just the balance changed and not enough downforce on the rear, and he spun. And I think could happen. I don't predict a lot of cautions per se. I just think that if they get in a scenario where they're battling too tight against someone maybe comes up too quick on someone's rear, could destabilize the air underneath the car in front, get them loose and spin them out. Or in fact, not even necessarily the guy in front, it can even be the rear guy. If he doesn't get enough air underneath that car, it takes it and disturbs that diffuser part and takes a lot of downforce to do behind can get loose and spin out. So it kind of works both ways, but still, I think it's going to be a good race. It's not going to be the greatest race ever, I think, but it's going to be a good race. Whenever we do get it in, if it's going to be today or it's going to be Monday. So we'll have to figure it out. Hopefully we can get in today. Mondays are not, obviously for purpose of viewership wise and everything like this. And of course, this is the first race back for NBC for this year, and they would like to start on a high note, not having to do it on a Monday because that would really suck for them. So we'll see how it plays out for everything, and hopefully this race goes off today. Hopefully, if not, we'll have to do it on Monday, I guess. But guys, thanks for watching, and comment below just for yourself who you think might win this race. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel and like to see more prediction videos, what I think could potentially happen in this race, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next week.